It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Welcome to Newsfeed. The 27th day of August 2022, 12 years since the Constitution was promulgated. My name is Stanley Nyarungita. Quite a number of stories we have for you this particular afternoon. You can always talk to us on our social media platforms at TV47KE on Facebook and Twitter. Start with the first story, where as Kenyans celebrate a record number of women elected to office in the recently concluded general election, the two-thirds gender rule is still a thorn in the flesh. This is some political and legal minds believe that the two-thirds gender rule should be scrapped to pave way for more effective affirmative action to get more women in leadership positions. This story is by Waris Kimath, and we'll be definitely getting it later on. Now to something else. The swearing-in ceremony for the governors has been basically elected. For governors will begin tomorrow at 10 a.m. and conclude before 2 p.m. The list of the 45 county bosses were set to take oath of office is a blended one, with 7 women lined up to be sworn in. The list also contains former senators like Johnson Sakaja and Mutule Kilonzo Jr., who have risen to the ranks to take up the county leadership. Right, we do apologize for that particular hitch. Now let's cross over to the Supreme Court, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the commissioners are set to file their responses today. In a very own Flora Limuki is right there. Flora, very good afternoon to you. What is happening at that particular position?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Stanley. We are live from Milimani Law Court. This is where the Kenya Kwanza coalition yesterday delivered their responses in respect to Azimio's petition that was filed on Monday. Remember, Azimio One Kenya wanted the nullification of President-elect William Ruto after his declaration on Monday, the 15th, by Wafula Chebukati. And in his response, Ruto accused Raila Odinga, who is was the presidential candidate for Azimio One Kenya and his running mate Martha Karua. Ruto accused them of wanting to cause a rerun in the country, while also stating that Odinga has been, for 3 elections, that is in 1997, 2017, has been pushing for a handshake government, hence derailing the country even when the electioneering period is over. Also, Veronica Maina, the Secretary General for UDA party, also filed her affidavit yesterday, citing that President Uhuru Kenyatta is curtailing the announcement of William Ruto as the president-elect. And later on, Dennis Itumbi, the digital strategist for UDA party, also delivered his affidavit, of course responding to John Githongo's affidavit that was stating that in some way Dennis Itumbi was involved in the infiltration of the KIMS kit and hence interfering with the transmission of the results from the polling stations, that is the Form 34As. And Itumbi clearly stated that they had 46,000 agents that were traversed across all the polling stations. Hence, they were able to access the 34A's forms as soon as the presiding officers were done with them. And today, what we are expecting in this specific area is that the IEBC commissioners will be filing their responses in response to Azimio One Kenya's petition. That is, so far, Justice Nyangaya has had initially delivered a soft copy of his affidavit stating that some 3 IEBC officials and a foreigner were used to infiltrate the KIMS kit, hence interfering with the presidential tallying of the results, and also that the results were in favor of one candidate. And later on, Juliana Cherera, who is the vice chairperson of IEBC, has also filed an affidavit quite damning accusations towards Wafula Chebukati, and some of them is that Juliana states that the Form 34Cs were not availed to all the commissioners. Of course, you know that the IEBC has, for the last 2 weeks after the declaration of President-elect William Ruto, there's been divisions within the IEBC. That is, on one side Wafula Chebukati, Abdi Gulie and Boya Molu on one side, and on the other side we have Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Justus Nyangaya and Irene Masit, who are also disputing with what Chebukati announced on Monday, the 15th of August. And of course, Cherera has also said that the 4 commissioners, that is her and Irene Masit, Justus Nyangaya and Francis Wanderi, were not given the opportunity to go through the Form 34Cs, that is the presidential final results, before they were announced by Wafula Chebukati on Monday, the 15th of August. Apart from that, in affidavit, Juliana Cherera has also stated that some 27 constituencies' results were not yet tallied before Chebukati announced the results, and therefore Juliana Cherera has dismissed the declaration of William Ruto as the president-elect, and also saying that Wafula Chebukati sidelined them in the whole process. Later on, we'll be expecting her to come in, of course, with the boxes of responses to this specific place. But as of now, that's it that we have from Milimani Law Courts. My name is Flora Limuki. I take it back to you, Stanley.
Right, thank you very much, Flora Limuki, the Supreme Court Corridors of Justice, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on what is happening on that particular presidential petition. Remember, the Zimmer leader Raila Odinga, through, they actually filed their petition on Monday, and obviously yesterday we saw Kenya Kwanza file their responses. Today, IEBC commissioners have also filed their responses, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye to see who else files this particular response as we wait for the verdict. From the Supreme Court, let's cross over to County 001, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission County Returning Officer in Mombasa is currently addressing the press on the electoral body's preparedness for the gubernatorial bodies elections, which are set to take place on Monday, the 29th, had been postponed by the electoral body after errors emerged in the ballot papers. Let's listen in.
We expect the presiding officers to complete the counting early enough and send the results to the constituency returning officers. So the constituency returning officers will compile the results from the polling stations, come up with 37B, and send the 37A series and 37B to the county returning officer so that we can have the 37C that will be used to declare the winner of the gubernatorial elections in Mombasa County.
One of the political factions asked the commission to make adjustments, or rather reshuffle, before the Monday elections. Has that been effective so far?
We have gone through the reshuffling of the poll officials. We have moved them from one ward to another, and others from one constituency to another within Mombasa County. So we have made the reshuffling of the poll officials to ensure that the process is free, to ensure that the process is fair, because most of our candidates claimed that they suggested that these poll officials be reshuffled, and the chairman of the commission instructed us that where we can reshuffle the poll officials, we can go ahead to reshuffle them. Where it's difficult, we can consider the same. But in Mombasa County, being a small county, we have managed to reshuffle the poll officials within the wards and some within the constituencies.
Voter apathy was one of the changamoto zilikuwa during this other election. What other civic education have you done so that being a Monday, we expect people to come out and it is a public holiday, but still there is still voter apathy. Also, there were spoiled votes. The number of spoiled votes in Mombasa County zilikuwa nyingi. What else have you done as a commission to ensure that the public is aware?
Okay, we have voter educators. We have voter educators in place. We have organized meetings, talks with the youth, with the public, with our voters. We have informed them on how to mark the ballot papers. We have informed them on the timings of the process, at what time they will visit the station, at what time the station will open, at what time the station will be closed, and what they expected to carry to the polling station.
Right, that is a particularly developing story in Mombasa. And our very own Petronila Goren will be updating us on a subsequent bulletins. Back to Nairobi, and today being 12 years since the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, professional bodies in conjunction with the Law Society of Kenya have observed the day. Lawyers including Charles Kanjama have noted that still there are gaps on addressing the challenges of full implementation of the Constitution, where some Kenyans still cannot enjoy their rights as enshrined in the Constitution.
The person walking in the street and the woman selling in the market and the man laboring in the industries has positively achieved with the new the constitutional dispensation. Because then if you speak about the diaphragm of the Constitution at an apex level without trickling it down to perceptive feelings of the ordinary Kenyan citizens, I believe you will be making a terrible mistake. So in the Law Society of Kenya, we are currently developing and following up on several projects that touch on basic and fundamental human rights. We are championing and we call on various organs of the state to continue with the partnerships that we have. Although there may be challenges here and there, but it is not the right time to say that there is failure in the achievement of these constitutional issues. So I am very happy. This is the message that the President of the Law Society of Kenya had tasked me to briefly explain or articulate here, and I will be happy with the platform that we have if we could get a working formula or a working action group that will be able to give out tangible results. I believe my good senior, Mr. Kanjama, senior counsel, I forget we come from a while back, but senior counsel is the right term, will be able to dissect the coordinational relationship between the various professional bodies that are here today, including the Law Society of Kenya, so that we can perhaps give a literal report in the days to come on the achievements and the future that we intend to live in.
Right, this being actually Katiba Day, hope you have had enough time since 12 years to actually read that particular constitution. And if you haven't, talk to us on social media platforms, TV47KE. Now let's cross over to Limuru. A tanker transporting fuel to a nearby country has overturned in Limuru along Kamandura-Maimahi Road. Police have had a hard time dispersing residents who showed up with jerrycans trying to siphon fuel. The incident coming barely 6 months after an LPG gas tanker exploded where 7 vehicles were turned into ashes. Paul Muniu is at the scene. Paul Muniu, a very good afternoon to you. Has that particular scenario been handled?
Well, thank you so much, Stanley Nyerigita. I am at the scene now. We are at Kamandora along the Maimahi Road. And of course, as you can see behind me, we have a particular scene where this particular fuel tanker overturned along the night, and the situation has been like that since morning. And of course, we have been here, and we are seeing the fire brigade present here, police officers here. They are just trying to ravage the situation, just to make sure that no one dares to get near that particular situation, because that can worsen. Now, the road is very narrow, as you can see, and the situation, the weather as at now, it is very foggy, and that could be one of the reasons that attributed to this particular accident. Now, remember, this particular area has been a hotspot of such accidents. Remember, in February, we had a PLG, tanker also overturned along this particular area, and it left 7 people injured and left other 7 cars burned to ashes. And of course, I want to talk to Gitonga, who is a sub-county police sub-county deputy assistant of the police commander, just to tell us the situation and how has it been. Well, asante sana Kubo. We are live at TV47. Maybe you can just tell us how has it been since morning, since this particular accident happened.
Okay, Anthony Gitonga, deputy sub-county police commander Limuru. Hello.
Yes.
Anthony Gitonga, deputy sub-county police commander Limuru. The report that we received from this morning was that the driver of this lorry was ferrying fuel from Nairobi to Kampala, and therefore during the morning hours it was very foggy, and there was poor visibility. Therefore, the driver did not manage to see the road very well. Therefore, ending to the can I come again, please?
Off the road, yes.
Off the road? Yeah. So that's just what happened because of poor visibility. And what we would like to do is to caution the driver to be very careful during this time because this road is very foggy. Yeah.
So what do we expect? Because I understand that the tanker has still fuel. So what do we expect from there?
The company is making arrangement of how they are going to transfer the fuel that is in the tanker to another vehicle. So we are waiting for that vehicle to arrive.
Okay, thank you so much, Nyarigita. That is the update as per now, and of course we shall be continuing to follow up on the situation and just bring the situation and how it will be at our later subsequent bulletin. My name is Paul Muniu.
Right, thank you very much, Paul Muniu. The live pictures from Limuru quite looks foggy around that particular area. Paul, make sure that you be safe in that particular region, and if you are there, make sure that you also drive safely. Now, let's cross over to somewhere else. Business at the Ugenya township that straddles the Kisumu-Busia highway came to a standstill late Friday as the locals protested the move by the Member of Parliament to decamp the President-elect William Ruto-led Kenya Kwanza outfit. The residents say they will not accept to be used as pawns in the political game.
The move by Ugenya MP David Ochieng to move to the Kenya Kwanza outfit has angered a section of Siaya residents who likened the move to political betrayal. since the MP was elected on the Movement for Development and Growth Party, a then affiliate for the Azimio wing.
Nimekataa maneno ya David kuenda kwa UDA. Hatutaki na arudi atuambie ako huko na tuone kenye tutafanya.
The residents took to the street of Sega Town to protest the decision by the area member of parliament David Ochieng to join the Deputy President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza alliance, whom they say is their strong opponent.
David sisi tulimwamini kama kandidati wetu hapa Ugenya na tukampatia kipawa ya kulinda sisi, lakini kama ameamua kuenda ile pande ingine, resign, arudi apate tikiti ya Azimio la Umoja ndio tuchukue yeye tena.
The locals lamented that the legislator, who is also the MDG party leader, did not seek their opinion while making a decision to ditch the Raila Odinga led by Azimio la Umoja.
Kienda huko Kenya Kwanza hiyo ajua ameenda yeye mwenyewe. Sisi kama watu wa Ugenya tumebakia hapa na tuko na baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Hiyo tu.
Siaya leaders also led by Deputy Governor William Odol and Game MP-elect Elisha Odhiambo dismissed the decision as inconsequential, adding that the legislator move was selfish.
I want to tell the people of Kenya that defection has no basis. It is an exercise in futility, and it is not going anywhere.
Odwal was sworn into the office on Thursday together with Siaya Governor James Orengo, accused Ochieng of lying to the electorate that he was in Azimio in order to ascend to power.
So he actually deceived the people of Uganda that he was with our president, the fifth, Raila Amolo Odinga. And because of that, he was able to get to parliament.
Ochieng on Friday joined the list of leaders moving to President-elect William Ruto's camp in a bid to consolidate numbers as to control critical institutions such as the parliament. Khaimba Emmanuel, TV47.
Right, and away from politics, over 10 families have been rendered homeless in Naivasha town after heavy downpour last evening that reduced houses to just pieces in Science and Services Estate. Our reporter Willis Dennis Njiru with the story.
This is the aftermath of a 90-minute downpour in Naivasha town that started 6 p.m. Friday. The unexpected rain left in its wake massive destruction, rendering over 10 families at Site Estate homeless.
What ili cross mind yangu nilidhani ni stima. So the first thing nilifanya ni ku switch off main. Kidogo nikasikia maji imelipuka kwa toilet huko ya nyumba. Thinking that ni sewage imejaa, hayo maji yakaingia na wingi kabisa.
The Naivasha Fire and Rescue team got here on time to evacuate residents who were trapped in their houses with water levels rising way beyond 3 feet high.
Nilichukua hiyo fridge nikakelea kwa kiti ndogo, sasa nikakalia hapo hivyo kwa fridge, and then ndio wasamaria wema wakaja wakatuokoa. In that wakavunja dirisha za nyuma, wakaturushia kamba, wakavuta na mlango. Sasa tukavutwa ndio tukaweza kuondolewa kwa hayo maji.
This trench carries mass waters from the Naivasha-Nakuru highway and upper part of the town. Locals now blame their woes on water passages put up during the construction of this modern outpatient department at Naivasha Hospital, which are said to have clogged the drainage system.
Hii sinda imesangiwa na hii sewer line, juu kuna place imeblock hapa nyuma ya hosi. I think ndio ilisababisha juu ilibomoa mpaka wall ya plot yetu na the next plot.
So bilizidi inakuja na force. Ilibidi itafute mwana ikakuja pande ya site.
Capacity yenye maji yalikuja nayo, hiyo drainage haingeweza kuhold. That's why ilipita na ikaweza kuvunja ukuta hapo hivyo nyuma.
The station poses a serious health hazard as the latrines here brought sewage to the houses with no outlets. Residents are now calling to the county government to intervene before it becomes a full-blown crisis.
So mtuondolee mchanga maji iweze kupita hapo kwa karabati.